know. So as a reminder, please send me a message in the chat if you would like to ask Coach a question, and we will get started just as soon as the first question rolls in. Andy Grader, we will start off with you.
Coach, it seemed like offense was a particular struggle for you guys. What was the problem with ball movement, and how much was it Michigan's problem as well?
Michigan had a lot to do with it. They were very, very good defensively. They were very physical defensively. They were taking us out of our stuff. They were pressuring the ball. So give them credit. You know, they did a great job on us. And, you know, defensively, we didn't do a great job on them. You know, so it's a bad combination. You know, when you're offensively not moving the ball very well and then defensively you have no resistance, you're probably going to be on the other side of a tough game. So give them credit. They were good. We got to do a better job. I got to do a better job of just having them prepared for that type of style, because we were ready for it versus Ohio State and Michigan State. Not tonight. So give them credit.
Clayton, we will go over to you for the next question.
Coach, how tough was it to stop Hunter Dickinson? Can you talk about, I guess, just how good he was tonight with 28 points?
Oh, he was phenomenal. You know, we talked about trapping him, but kind of similar to like Garza does. I mean, he's just getting him in spots and going so quick that it was hard to really do anything. Our pick and roll coverage was poor. You know, we kind of let him release on the backside, and we were just no good there. But you know, he's a really good player. I've never seen a kid shoot those type of percentages. Everything just kind of dies into the basket.
Next, we will go over to Marcus Fuller.
Coach, you know, Marcus obviously struggled versus Ohio State, but you're able to get some points from Liam and some of the other players. Just offensively, you know, where does it come from when obviously Marcus is not having the night early on that he's having?
Got to come from five guys. You know, any of the five that are on the court. We're not trying to put the pressure on Marcus to score 30 a game. You can't have that. You got to have a balanced attack. We had it last game. We didn't have it today. So we just got to look at the film and get back to offensively reading the defense better than what we're doing.
Next question will come from Daniel House.
Richard, you attempted just 6 free throws tonight. How difficult was it to attack off the dribble?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was a bad whistle by any means. I just don't think we were so timid. Instead of trying to get in there and attack their physicality, we were playing on our heels. We were turning our shoulders. We had a lot of live ball turnovers. But they had a lot to do with that too. They were terrific.
Next, we will go to Brendan Quinn. Sorry.
Hey, Richard. Kind of 2 on Michigan, if you can. 1, can you speak to the offensive versatility they have of trying to, you know, gauge, do you go all in on checking Dickinson and give up threes, or kind of the balance there? And then also, you know, when they play this well, how do you, you know, maybe not read too much into it or, you know, be too upset when shots are going in and Dickinson plays like that? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm definitely upset, you know, because we didn't play great by any means. But, yeah, I think they've got really good balance. They've got a guy in Dickinson who just puts so much pressure on you on ball screens. He's so big. He's so physical. You know, Livers has been a really good player in this league for a while. Wagner's got size. I mean, they're a talented team, a very talented team, well coached. Juwan's doing a great job. So, you know, again, we've had some great moments this year after 13 games. But we've had 3 really some duds. But you know what? Those 3 that we've had duds against are some really good teams. And I think Michigan's got as much talent as any team in the country that I've seen. And I think Juwan's doing a really good job of getting them bought in.
What about defensively from them? Just the length and things like that. What do you think is most disruptive of what they're doing right now?
I mean, you're playing Wagner, who's 6'8" on the wing. You know, Livers is 6'8". You know, Dickinson's 7'1", 7 feet tall. So that's a recipe for some really good defensive possessions. And then offensively, they're executing at a high level. So they're going to they're going to make you earn everything. And tonight we didn't make them earn everything.
Thank you.
Coach, that's all we have tonight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We'll move on to players in just a few moments, everyone. Do have an update for players. We will have Gabe Kalscheur and Ihnen coming up here in just a few moments. Thank you. All right, we will get right into questions for Gabe. So same as before, please send me a message in the chat if you have a question for Gabe, and we will start off again with Andy Greeter.
Gabe, it was a 6-point game at halftime. You guys were right in it. What were the issues kind of right away in the start of the second half that made the lead so big for them?
We just had some loose ball turnovers that wasn't us. And then just defense. They were just getting too many easy baskets. So that's what it started off the second half.
Waiting for additional questions to roll in for Gabe. Okay, next we will go to Jeff Wall.
Gabe, can you explain just your guys' inability to match their intensity? It seemed like they just played a lot harder. It seemed like you guys just, were kind of going through the motions for a while there. Can you explain just the difficulty of matching their intensity?
Yeah, we didn't match their physicality. We weren't being strong coming off cuts, being strong with the ball, making strong passes. We had a lot of just passes that we flew it, swung it over, and they were in the gaps and took it for easy dunks and layups. So just small little stuff that we could control. We just weren't tough enough.
Next question will go to Andrew Kahn.
Hey, can you speak to Michigan's defensive intensity? I mean, it looks like they certainly made life very hard for you guys on the offensive end.
Yeah, they did a good job. Switching everything, denying Marcus, denying passes for string reversals. But it was really us just being not strong with the ball, not being persistent on what to do with the ball at the time we had it.
And next we will go to Marcus Fuller.
With the other two losses on the road, obviously Illinois was more similar to this, but that was your first Big Ten game. Can you put your finger on just maybe going into different road environments, why certain players that haven't been experienced it before aren't playing as well, or shooting as well on the road?
I wouldn't say it's an excuse that we're playing this way on the road. There's really no fans. It's really like a neutral site game. So last year when we had fans and stuff, you could say it was a lot different having like fans and having their fans talk and with the excitement and everything and energy. But it's pretty much playing at home, but it's a neutral site game. So for us, it's just we just got to come out with intensity and physicality each and every game. And tonight we didn't do that.
Last two questions will go to Daniel House and Brendan Quinn. Daniel, start us off, please.
Hey, Gabe, what were some of the challenges you guys faced while defending their ball screens and pick and rolls?
They did a good job spacing us out, especially naked pick and roll with no one to bump the big man. I'll say that's what was a little challenging was helping on the help side and them spacing us out on the pick and roll and the naked ball screen.
And then over to Brendan Quinn for the last question.
Been around the league for a few years here, and there's been obviously great bigs in this league. What do you, where do you kind of put Dickinson in the pecking order of guys that you've seen?
Can you repeat that question? I couldn't really hear you.
You've been around the league and seen great bigs come through the Big Ten. Where do you kind of put Dickinson in the pecking order among some of these guys?
I wouldn't really have a pecking order with big fellas. I mean, I'm not going to rank the talented bigs, but I mean, he's a talented big. Credit him tonight. Did what he did. They got the W.
All right, Gabe, thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
We'll wrap up with Ihnen here in just a few seconds. Thank you. All right, so as I said, lastly, we have Ihnen, and we will get right into questions for Isaiah as soon as the first one pops up. Marcus Fuller can start us off this time.
Isaiah, you know, you look at the Wisconsin game, offensively, you guys struggled. What was it tonight? It was a similar defensive battle in the first half. Just weren't able to get the offense going.
Our thing is like as long as we can get into our like plays and stuff, we're good. I feel like in both games, they just use physicality to like get us out of it, and that was the reason why we're struggling so much.
Over to Andy Grader for the next question.
You guys struggled similarly against Illinois in the opener. How do you limit this to just one game?
We just got to make sure, like, to actually just throw the first punch. Like, obviously not like that, but rhetorical. Throw the first punch. Make sure, like, to be the most physical team on the court. That's what we did against Ohio State. It proved to go well for us, and we just got to learn from that.
Waiting for additional questions to roll in for Isaiah. Anyone else have any questions for Isaiah before we let him go? All right, yes, we'll go back to Marcus Fuller.
You know, Isaiah, Liam played so well versus Ohio State when you guys established him early and he started off strong. Was it just tough for him to keep going defensively back and forth with Hunter to try to get himself going offensively, you think?
I mean, it's really a team effort to make sure that Liam gets his touches. I feel like we should have done a better job doing that so that Hunter Dickinson would have to work harder on defense, which then would translate to him not like being gassed on offense. But I mean, yeah, we just all got to play way more physical. Like it can't happen like that again.
And last question for Isaiah will go to Jeff Walt.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, Isaiah, when you were down just 6 at half and then they score the first 8 of the second half to get out to a double-digit lead, what made it difficult to kind of match their intensity?
But we just honestly, we just weren't ready to play. Like as I said before, we got to always make sure to be the team with the most intensity. Like we don't have no fans, so no one really has an advantage, like home court or on the road. And the team that just plays with the most energy most of the time ends up winning. And we didn't do that tonight. Credit to Michigan, they ended up doing that, but we just got to do a better job.
Isaiah, thank you for your time. Everyone else, thank you for your time. Thank you for hopping on tonight. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.